not sure I agree with your
Did
conclusion.
you see what she did with her hair? It's horrid. I know.
How should I put this? Basically, you quote your mother-in-law.
I think we're going to need more help here.
I'm not sure I agree with your conclusions.
Why not?
Well, your methodology seems a bit suspect.
What's wrong with it?
How should I put this? Basically, you quote your mother-in-law to support your theory. I'm not sure I agree with your conclusions.
Why not?
Did you see what she did with her hair? It's horrid. I know. Short is fine. Look at Audrey Hepburn in Roman Holiday. But it's just so mannish. Well, at least you didn't have to listen to her mother lament about it for 3/4 of an hour. Yes, can you believe it? The poor dear was distraught, and who could blame her?
Are you talking about Flora?
Yes. I know you did. We all did, but she doesn't listen.
I told her not to do it.
That's what Melanie was just saying. Oh, just Fran being an eavesdropper.
It's not eavesdropping when a person's yelling down a hallway.
Pipe down, you busybody. No, not you. Fran's teasing me. Okay, I better go too. Are you free on Saturday? Well, let's get together, shall we? Are you free on Saturday, Fran?
Sure.
Fran's coming along too. Good. See you then. Bye.
How's Melanie anyway?
I think she's having troubles with Johnny.
Oh, poor dear.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it on Saturday.
I'm not sure I agree with your conclusions.
Why not?
Well, your methodology seems a bit...
We'd better swiftly call for some help. Oh dear! Yes!
Yes! I know you did. We all did, but she doesn't listen.
I told her not to do it.
That's what Melanie was just saying. Oh, just Fran being an eavesdropper.
It's not eavesdropping when a person's yelling down a hallway.
Pipe down, you busybody. No, not you. Fran's teasing me. Okay, I better go too. Are you free on Saturday? Well, let's get together, shall we? Are you free on Saturday, Fran? Sure. Fran's coming along too. Good. See you then. Bye.
How's Melanie anyway?
I think she's having troubles with Johnny.
Oh, poor dear.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it on Saturday.
Evelyn,
Yes, Mr. Hilltop.
come in, dear, and dig up the latest accident report.
Yes, sir. Are you all right, Mr. Hilltop?
What's the point of implementing safety regulations if no one abides by them?
I wouldn't know, sir.
After 3 safety training courses in the past 2 months, you'd expect to see some decline in serious on-site accidents, don't you think?
I suppose so, sir.
So
She's over here! Who's there?
Yes, Mr. Hilltop.
come in, dear, and dig up the latest accident report. Evelyn,
Yes, Mr. Hilltop.
come in, dear, and dig up the latest accident report.
Certainly, Mr. Hilltop. Here it is.
Ah, good, good. You look very nice today. I'll be in my office if anybody calls for me. I'll be in my office if anybody calls for me.
She's over here!
Here it is.
Oh, good, good. You look very nice today. I'll be in my office if anybody calls for me.
Yes, sir.
Good God. What's the point of implementing safety regulations if no one abides by them?
I wouldn't know.
After 3 safety training courses in the past 2 months, you'd expect to see some decline in serious on-site accidents, don't you think?
I suppose so, sir.
So would I. But according to this report, the accident rate's actually gone up.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
Somebody's certainly going to be sorry. Get hold of Mr. Manning for me, would you, dear?
Yes, sir. Mr. Manning is on the line, sir.
Thank you, Evelyn. Manning, this is Hilltop. Listen, I'm just looking over the latest accident report and... Hello? Manning? God, he hung up on me.
Shall I ring it again, sir?
Don't bother. I think I'd better have this conversation in person. I'll be back in a jiffy.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Evelyn.
You like the Beatles?
Sure.
I wish they'd go on tour again.
Don't hold your breath.
Well, as long as they keep making life happy.
Any luck?
Plenty. Do you trust me now?
Nope.
Now then, let's see if, we can't sort this confusion out, shall we?
That's all right. Perhaps we can reschedule at a more convenient time.
Certainly. How about Friday at 11 a.m.?
Perfect. See you then. I want to take a look around in there.
Good idea, but it's my turn.
Heads or tails?
You got to go last time.
Heads or tails?
I'm going, you're staying. No arguments, no coin toss.
Don't be such a Jessie. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails. You lose. Again.
I'm in charge here. I give the orders, you take the orders.
Well, now that we've decided who's going in, what are your orders, sir?
All right, I'll help you get inside, but you'd better be careful. If anyone sees you, liquidate him before we can set off an alarm, and stay clear of security cameras.
Don't worry.
Photograph anything that looks suspicious and collect as much intelligence as you can. Files, correspondence, dossiers, anything.
Aye, aye, sir. Excellent orders, sir. I look forward to following them.
Give me a few seconds head start.
What was that? I must be seeing things. Hey! Sound the alarm! Die!
I want to take...
I need backup!
Was it any good?
Something about this Venusian society.
Hurry!
Was it any good?
Something about this Venusian society.
Who's there? Help!
Did you inspect that faulty pump like I asked you to?
Yeah.
Then perhaps you know why it's not working.
You, didn't see my report?
goes there? Over here!
I want to...
Anybody there? I gotta relax. Hurry!
Hello, what have we here? Sergeant Magnus Armstrong. Well, well. It was Armstrong, all right. I'm sure of it.
Excellent work, Archer.
What do you want us to do now?
Try to interview the Baron at his estate. We need to know if he's involved.
You think it might be someone within the organization?
I'm hoping that you and Goodman can answer that question.
Aye, sir. We'll do our best. Let's go.
Tails.
Heads.
Damn it!
Ah, don't pout. Your eyes get all small and piggy when you're sulking.
How are you planning on getting in there anyway?
I'll charm my way in.
Well, I hope you brought some secret charm powder or something, otherwise you're in big trouble.
I've got better weapons in mind.
Like what?
You've been staring at them all afternoon.
Huh?
Yes?
Good afternoon. My name is Mia Haig. I'm from Men of Influence magazine.
Men of Influence? What on earth are you doing here?
This is the residence of Baron Archibald Dumas, is it not?
Yes?
Baron Dumas certainly seems to qualify as a man of influence, wouldn't you say?
I suppose it would depend on how you choose to define influence.
He is the president of Dumas Industrial Enterprises.
Ah,
He's wealthy.
true.
He's well respected. He's dashing. He's debonair.
Listen, this is all very educational, but what exactly do you want?
I'd like to interview the Baron about the future of Dumas Industrial Enterprises. Our readers love stories about savvy businessmen conquering corporate challenges in our modern age.
Ah, yes. Sadly, the Baron does not disclose information regarding his business to anyone, even attractive young females such as yourself. So sorry.
I was hoping to profile Baron Dumas for our Perfect Lives series. Each month we cover a different person whose lifestyle and disposition exemplify perfect living.
And you wish to include his lordship in this series?
Yes, the idea is to penetrate the myth and get to know the man, his pastimes, his ambitions, his accomplishments, the things that make him tick.
I see.
He's a model aristocrat.
Ah,
Someone our readers can look up to.
of course. Will you excuse me for a moment, Miss Haig? I don't think I could forgive myself if I were to let this sublime opportunity pass by. I will discuss your request with his lordship and return presently with his answer.
Thank you.
Please, wait here. I shan't be a moment. Very well. His lordship has agreed to see you.
Excellent.
This should be amusing.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Follow me, please. Miss Haig, sir.
Splendid. Show her in.
I'll leave you to your interview, darling. I'll be shopping for the rest of the afternoon.
Yes, yes. Have a marvelous time, Chipmunk.
Don't call me that.
As you wish, my love. Pip-pip.
He's rather larger than I expected.
Ah, yes. He's a big bundle of charisma and intelligence. If you're lucky, perhaps he'll regale you with his rousing safari adventures.
Good day, Baron Dumas.
Goodness, had I known you would be so sumptuous, I might have preened. Care for a drink?
No, thank you. It's a little early for me.
Well, I'll indulge for us both in that case. I hope you'll pardon me for saying so, but you're a ravishing girl. Simply ravishing.
That's very kind of you. I'm sure your wife feels absolutely spoiled by your abundant charm.
Oh, she's a lucky old crow, I'll grant you that. Now then, Giles tells me you want to profile me for this magazine of yours. Men of Influence, was it?
Yes, each issue we cover a different person in our Perfect Lives series, someone whose lifestyle and achievements serve as inspiration for our readers.
Jolly good. You've come to the right place. That will be all, Giles.
Actually, sir, I thought it might be worthwhile for me to stay, in case the young lady should desire anything at all.
Splendid idea. Pip, pip.
Yes, sir. I'll be right over here if you require anything, Miss Haig.
Thank you. Baron Dumont, do you mind if I record our interview? I'd rather devote my attention to you than to my notepad.
And who could blame you? Record away, my dear. So then, where shall we begin?
Clearly, it takes a savvy, intelligent individual to succeed in business where you have. What's your secret?
Well, I suppose it takes a solid appreciation of the fundamentals of business success. Once you have that, the rest is easy.
Many men with such immense wealth succumb to sloth or immoderation. How do you keep yourself productive and effectual in the face of such constant temptation?
Excuse me.
An ingenious question. Well, you see, a man has certain choices he can make. Some choices are wise ones, and some are not. So I suppose you could say that making wise choices is an important step in one's tireless quest for wisdom.
I'm sure a man of your education is as broadly read as he is charming. What works of literature have you found most influential?
Yes, literature. One of my favorite subjects. I've always said that to read is to experience the literary wisdom of wise men.
Very well said. And who are some of your favorite authors? Hemingway, Melville, Dostoevsky?
Precisely. Good guess. Shall we proceed to the next question?
What's the most dangerous animal you ever faced?
I once squared off against a silverback gorilla.
A silverback gorilla?
Yes, a huge, ferocious, man-eating beast.
Man-eating?
Quite so.
But I was under the impression that gorillas were herbivores and very gentle and less threatened.
Well, that's true of some gorillas, but this was one of the dreaded man-eating gorillas of Pakistan.
I wasn't aware there were gorillas in Pakistan.
Well, that's because few lived to tell of them, you see.
Well, it's fortunate that you did.
Agreed. Silverbacks are by far the most dangerous animals to hunt.
I was under the impression that distinction went to Cape buffalo.
Nonsense. Cape buffalo are just glorified cows.
Is there anything that can strike fear into the heart of such a stalwart hunter as yourself?
Frankly, no.
Really? Nothing at all?
Not that I can think of.
Not even centipedes?
Oh, dreadful things. Yes, I suppose, perhaps centipedes.
Personally, I'm terrified of rats.
Oh, God, yes. Those beady, evil little eyes and sharp little vermin teeth. Horrible animals, especially in a mob.
And spiders.
Oh, don't even mention them.
How did you become so courageous?
Oh, just something one's born with, I suppose.
I imagine you've traveled to many exotic locales across the globe in your many daring adventures. Is there any place you favor above all others for hunting?
Ah, most certainly.
Let me guess. Kenya.
Oh, goodness, no. I don't speak a word of Chinese.
But Kenya's in Africa.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the one in China.
All right, then. How about Bengal?
Cold weather doesn't agree with me.
Rhodesia?
Heavens.
Madagascar?
Not on your life.
Where then?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I'm quite fond of Bristol.
Partridge?
Pandas. Giant pandas.
Bristol, England?
Yes, indeed.
I wasn't aware of any giant pandas in Bristol.
Well, they're important.
I see. Was that a gazelle trophy in the foyer?
Ah, yes. Beautiful creature, isn't it?
I'm sure it was lovely when it was alive. Aren't they quite fast?
Indeed.
You must be quite a marksman.
True, although I was rather close in this particular instance.
How close?
5 yards, I should think.
I'm impressed. Stalking a gazelle within 5 yards?
I didn't really stalk it, per se.
How did you get that close?
Well, it was in a pen, you see.
Pardon?
Some years ago, it occurred to me that all that traipsing about in the wilderness is a dreadful waste of time. I concluded that since what I really want is a handsome trophy to hang on my wall, why not simply put the beast in a pen out of the yard and shoot it there? Save myself the bother of tracking it all over creation.
Why not just buy trophies, then?
Some men might be satisfied with that sort of compromise, but I only display animals I've collected myself. There's no honor in buying a trophy now, is there?
How efficient. Is there a message you'd like to share with your many admirers?
Good hunting, my humble devotees.
Well, that's all the questions I prepared. I must confess, I'm positive this will be our most popular Perfect Lives installment yet.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely. Rarely does nature combine so many excellent qualities in one man. Our readers will be fascinated, and maybe even a bit envious.
One can hardly blame them.
What I don't understand is where such a busy man finds the time to be a successful business tycoon, loving husband, daring hunter, astute philosopher, cultivated humorist, etc. Aren't you overwhelmed?
Well, one learns to delegate. For example, although you wouldn't guess it, I'm only peripherally involved with Dumas Enterprises these days. Strictly in an advisory capacity, you see, to keep the company on track.
How ingenious.
Oh, well, I have my moments.
But isn't it an awful risk to hand over operations to someone less accomplished in the subtleties of enterprise than yourself?
Actually, it's safer that way.
Really?
Yes, you see, in my experience, the less one knows about running a business, the less he can screw up. I make all the important decisions. The rest is just, paperwork.
Still, you wouldn't want your competitors getting their hands on that paperwork.
Oh, quite true. But we have a very large safe in which to store it.
Safes can be cracked.
No, not this one. Even if someone could get inside, he'd still have to get past the security system.
Sounds daunting.
Oh, it is. There are invisible beams.
Infrared?
Exactly. If you touch one of them, the doors lock and poison gas is released into the safe.
How terrible.
Oh, I'd like to meet the burglar who could get in there.
It would take a lunatic even to attempt it.
Or a fool.
Thank you for your time, Baron Dumont. It's been an eye-opening experience.
I'm happy to oblige. Never turn your back on a worthy cause, I always say.
A worthy meal is more like it. Well done, Agent Archer. You may redeem yourself yet. In the meantime, don't get cocky. There's still work to be done. Command will fill you in on the details. Report there immediately.
Is it possible he was putting on an act?
I don't think so, sir. I'm fairly confident the man is an imbecile.
I heard the tape and I gotta agree.
Still, it's clear that Dumas Industrial Enterprises is somehow linked to harm.
Well, didn't the Baron say that he wasn't really running the show anyway? Who's the vice president of the company?
According to our research, his name is Damascus Valentine.
D.V.
What?
His initials, Damascus Valentine, Dmitry Volkov. Coincidence?
Seems rather tenuous.
But nonetheless intriguing. In any case, we need to know what's in the safe the Baron mentioned to you. It won't be easy, naturally, but it could be the key to this investigation.
I'm looking forward to the challenge, sir.
That's the spirit. Mr. Smith, what did intelligence find out about the building?
It's a veritable fortress. Not only is there a suspiciously large and well-trained security staff, but they've also invested heavily in high-tech surveillance equipment, cameras, infrared alarm systems, the works.
They must really have something to hide.
Our thoughts exactly.
So what's the plan? Who is going inside?
You are.
What? Why her? It's way too dangerous for a woman.
Oh, don't start with that again.
Before joining Unity, Agent Archer was something of an expert in, covert infiltration, one might say.
Breaking and entering, others might say.
Whatever the case, this assignment calls for stealth and subtlety.
Yeah, I know. Subtlety isn't my specialty. I still think it's too dangerous for her to go in alone.
Which is why you'll be providing a distraction for her downstairs.
I like the sound of that.
How do I get inside?
Attempting entry on the ground floor would be suicide, even for an expert like Ms. Archer. The only way in is through the roof access.
What did you have in mind? Am I going to have to parachute in?
Too imprecise. Fortunately, there's an alternative. Dumas Enterprises is erecting a second skyscraper right next to its corporate headquarters. Our surveillance photos suggest that if you can get to the top of the new building, you can use a crane to cross over to the roof of the old one.
The surveillance photos suggest that this is possible?
It will be close. You'll have a zip cord to cut the difference.
I see.
Once you're inside the building, you'll need to locate the president's office and find the safe. Photograph anything remotely suspicious.
We don't want to tip our hand, so leave everything as you found it. The less they know about our mission, the better. Now then, time is of the essence.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. Here we have the Sphinx Series M Code Breaker. Simply attach it to a standard 10-key security pad, and it will run through a series of combinations until it breaks the code. The duration of this process is determined by the complexity of the code, so it may be advisable to hide until the procedure is complete. Try out your code breaker on this keypad. added an infrared scanner to your sunglasses to help you circumvent the security systems you're likely to encounter. If you see suspicious-looking fixtures like these mounted on a wall, be sure to switch on your scanner lest you announce your presence unintentionally.
I'm bored. I never have any fun. Neither do I.
While it's clear that Dumas Industrial Enterprises is somehow involved with harm, it's not entirely certain who the mastermind is. You must infiltrate the company's corporate headquarters building, locate the safe in the president's office, and photograph any relevant documents you find. Agent Goodman will provide a distraction that should draw attention away from you, but you should still expect resistance.
Give me a signal when you're in position. I'll stir things up down here. The diversion should make it easier for you to get inside unnoticed.
What kind of signal?
I don't know, something that'll get my attention.
Right. Take care of yourself.
Don't worry about me, just get to that safe as fast as you can. If they figure out what you're up to, you're as good as dead.
What's with the extra security?
I don't know.
There ain't much in the way of valuables lying about.
I don't give the orders.
Get over here! What's with the extra security?
I don't know.
There ain't much in the way of valuables.
got you. It's over with.
Huh?
I think something's going on down there. You don't have fingernail clippers, do you?
Nah, sorry.
Damn, I forgot to clip them this morning. They're driving me crazy.
Shoo them off.
Normally I would, but my car stalled on the way to work. And now I've got this nasty grease under my nails.
meet the old man's new secretary?
Heard someone. Hello? Heard someone.
We still have work to do. We still have work to do.
Hello.
You meet the old man.
Is anyone there? I know you're there. Let's put an end to this, shall we? Is anyone there? Is anyone there?
Oh dear. Yes, the old bowels have given way.
Is anyone there?
Identify yourself.
All right, Goodman, where's that diversion?
Damn, I'm missing Man from U.N.C.L.E.
That's a great show.
Did you catch the final episode of The Fugitive last month?
I sure did. That's the way to wrap up a series.
You like The Saint?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Avengers is good too. Good show. Great theme song. I'm looking forward to the Sounds kind of strange. More of a science fiction thing.
Well, it's better than The Silencers. That kind isn't too much for me.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out around Christmas. The Ambushers.
I'll probably see it, but I'm not excited.
Look, there's no disgrace in giving up.
Look, really, these, we've almost got the track down. Let's put an end to this, shall we?
I know you're there, come on.
Oh, there's everyone down! Yes, about a bit of that.
You seen Stinks lately?
Who?
Oh dear, yes.
Yes, quite so. got a bit of that, eh? Oh dear, yes.
Oh, this one's toast, eh?
Heads down!
Let's get out of here. What's wrong? Volkov.
Once again, I find myself aiming a pistol at someone you care about. Drop your gun.
How do I know you won't shoot him?
You don't. But you can be sure that I will shoot him, unless you do as I say.
Don't listen to him, Archer.
I realize you are American, and therefore feel entitled to speak your mind whenever you please. But you are also at gunpoint, and very likely to be shot if you don't shut up!
Go to hell.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I heard you. Tell me what you said.
I thought you wanted me to shut up. Now you want me to talk? Make up your damn mind.
You are testing my patience. Miss Archer, I suggest you drop your weapon before your obnoxious American friend forces me to silence him, once and for all.
Don't do it. Get out of here now.
Here.
Tom!
Go! Go!
After her! I hope you are pleased.
A bittersweet success, to be sure, but a success nonetheless. Recovering from Agent Goodman's death will be no easy task, but you can be sure harm won't sit idly by while you grieve. The information you recovered from the headquarters of Dumas Industrial Enterprises may prove to be the break you've needed. Report to the War Room for a full briefing.
Go!
Tom!
Get out of here now!
Agent Kate Archer, please report to the War Room. Thank you.
Agent Goodman's death is a terrible blow, no question about it. But although this mission was costly, it may well prove to have been worth the price.
I wish I could believe that.
You mustn't lose sight of our objectives. The sacrifice of any or all of us is a small price to pay to preserve the lives we will save if we are successful. Tom knew the risks. So did Bruno. So do you.
Knowing the risks doesn't really prepare you for losing a partner. It certainly doesn't prepare you for losing two.
Nothing can prepare you. The loss of an operative is never expected and is always tragic. But as horrible as it sounds, it's also inevitable. It's a dangerous job.
Perhaps Mr. Smith is right. Perhaps I'm not up to the task.
Rubbish. You've performed remarkably well under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. I confess I was somewhat skeptical at first, but that was before I grasped the magnitude of the situation. In my entire tenure as a field operative, I never once faced a crisis this formidable, and certainly can't say I would have done so with the aplomb and competence you've demonstrated thus far.
I didn't realize you were a field operative.
Indeed, for 14 years. After the war, I found I was having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Fortunately, an old acquaintance of mine was recruiting for Unity and happened to ring me one afternoon. I've never looked back. Sort of difficult to imagine, isn't it?
Not at all.
You flatter me. Anyhow, let's have no more self-pity. What do you say?
Yes, sir. So before you served on the committee, you and Bruno were colleagues.
And friends.
Did you ever work together on an assignment?
Frequently. We lost track of how many times we'd saved each other's lives.
And you still believe he was capable of treason?
In my heart, no. Intellectually, I don't quite know what to believe. No question about it. He was always a steadfast, resourceful fellow, But the history books are full of patriots turned traitors. There's no telling what a man is capable of, given the appropriate temptations.
I know what I believe.
I admire your conviction, and I pray you're right. Ah, Mr. Smith, I hope you have some good news.
Good news would be that we hadn't lost another valuable agent on this mission.
What news do we have?
Well, our analysis of Agent Archer's photographs is complete.
And?
We have a possible lead on Dr. Schenker's whereabouts.
I think we can classify that as good news.
As I said, it's all relative. This harm situation isn't the only crisis in the world, and we're fast running out of competent field agents.
Then suppose you get to the point and tell us what we know about Dr. Schenker so we can go fetch him.
It's somewhat speculative at this point, but it's possible that Harm is keeping him at a secret underground research facility in North America. We don't know the exact location of this facility, but thanks to the files Archer photographed, we know it exists, apparently in the vicinity of a lumberyard in western Washington state. It seems the site is being supplied by an American Railways passenger train. Records and research has dug up evidence of various trains making unscheduled stops in the area over the past 3 weeks.
At regular intervals?
Indeed. Probably to drop off supplies and personnel. We're certain that at least one American Railways engineer is on the Harm payroll, although several individuals may be involved. We're looking into it.
What's my assignment?
Phase 1 will be to apprehend the engineer or engineers in question so that we can interrogate them. Once you're aboard the train...
How exactly am I to get aboard?
We'll smuggle you into the galley car.
Lovely.
Anyhow, once you're aboard, you will meet with a contact who will tell you precisely whom you'll need to detain. It is safe to presume that other Harm personnel will be aboard the train, so subtlety is advisable. Needless to say, seizing the conspirators will prevent the train from making its stop, so you'll have to be sure to detrain at the appropriate time.
Well, after falling out of an airplane, I suppose jumping off a moving train can't be that bad.
That won't be necessary. Once your objectives are complete, you must head for the caboose and detach it when you're near the lumberyard. We'll have an agent in place to switch the track and reroute you to an unused depot behind the lumberyard. This area is not likely to be heavily guarded, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting through. If all goes according to plan, you will rendezvous with another undercover agent who will, we hope, have information that should help you locate the underground base.
Then I grab Dr. Schenker and get the hell out.
Precisely. We'll have a helicopter nearby awaiting your signal. Your flight departs in 1 hour, so if you need to stop by the toy shop, now's the time.
Understood. Thank you for putting things in perspective for me, sir. I promise you I will do everything in my power to destroy Harm.
Archer?
Sir?
Don't let anger cloud your judgment. Revenge is an understandable impulse, but it is also a contemptible one. Our job is not to avenge, but to protect.
I can't just shut off my feelings like a tap.
No, but you can bridle them and use them to fuel your resolve. Destroy Harm, but do it to save innocent lives, not to retaliate for those already lost. The moment you give in to wrath, you become as reprehensible as the monsters we're hunting. Clearly, we are all called upon to take lives from time to time, but we must neither relish it nor agonize over it. It is a duty, plain and simple. Not a pleasant one, but often a necessary one.
I'll do my best, sir.
I have absolute confidence that you will.
There was one more thing, although I'm not sure how important it is. According to one of the documents Archer photographed, it seems the Baron's wife changed her surname some time ago.
Really? So her maiden name isn't McLean?
It's Farnsworth.
Felicity Farnsworth? Are you quite sure?
Positive. Do you know of her?
Aye, that I do. When she was 8 years old, her father, a wealthy banker, was involved in a nasty public scandal involving unmentionable acts with a 12-year-old boy.
How dreadful.
Mr. Farnsworth committed suicide shortly thereafter. Felicity and her mother, by all accounts a vapid socialite, were ruthlessly ostracized by their peers. Guilt by association, presumably. Furthermore, rather than inheriting the fortune she expected, Mrs. Farnsworth discovered that her late husband had left the family in inescapable debt. She went quite mad. Several days after being institutionalized, she hung herself.
My word, that poor child.
Felicity fell into the custody of an elderly aunt whose lifestyle was apparently rather more severe than she was accustomed to. About a year later, the aunt took a fatal tumble down the stairs.
Foul play?
No mention was ever made.
What happened to the girl?
She ended up with a foster family where she remained until she was 14. One night she went out her bedroom window and was never seen again. Or at least no one recognized her.
Astonishing.
Where did you learn so much about her?
I studied her.
Come again?
I believe I first read about her in a gossip column. I was intrigued by the similarities in our background, so I dug deeper.
What similarities?
Well, we both came from wealthy families. We were both orphaned at a relatively early age. Our fathers both killed themselves, although for very different reasons. We were both plunged into undesirable circumstances and resorted to rather desperate measures to survive. I found it quite uncanny at the time, although in retrospect I think we had less in common than I once believed.
Adversity is the truest test of character. The strong are strengthened by it, the weak made weaker. It sounds like this Baroness didn't have the wherewithal to cope with her misfortunes. It's a common trend among terrorists and bullies that they imagine themselves persecuted by fate and therefore feel justified in harming others.
You're frothing.
Sorry, I get carried away.
She's involved somehow.
The Baroness? Upon what unimpeachable evidence are you basing that supposition?
I just have a feeling.
Ah, then the case is as good as closed.
I don't expect you to believe me, but I'll count on you to say something smug if I'm right.
It's virtually guaranteed.
I'm not smug. Acerbic, perhaps, maybe even sardonic, but not smug.
Okay, sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
I have to agree with her, Smith.
Don't either of you have work to do?
Aye, sir. Off I go.
Good luck.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. We've a new perfume for you. This one's a real scorcher. It's a concentrated acid gas with... Here's a spiffy new device that should make dealing with security cameras less of an ordeal. When fastened to a camera, it generates a still image from the camera's viewpoint that should convince a casual watcher that he's seeing an empty room. Attach a camera disabler to this security camera. Excellent. Riding a motorcycle is easier than you might suspect. To get on, simply walk up and activate it. Hit activate again.
If Dr. Schenker is indeed being held in this secret underground research facility in North America, it's a safe bet he won't be there for long once Harm figures out what you're up to. The first step is to identify and detain the American Railways conspirator so that we can interrogate him. You will then need to locate the hidden entrance to the facility, find Dr. Schenker, and get him out alive. Without him, we're doomed.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Like what?
There's a spy aboard this train.
Are you sure?
I am.
How do you know?
I have my sources.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Let's just say I heard it from a little birdie that someone's been poking around, nosing for information about our obliging engineer friend.
Oh.
We don't want that information falling into the wrong hands, do we?
Well, I haven't seen any spies.
If you do, let me know. We don't tolerate spies.
I'll keep an eye out.
See that you do.
Moron.
Did you say something?
What?
I could have sworn I just heard you call me a Mormon.
Why would I call you a